The Jane Doe story. Mm, mm, mm. I do believe Jane Doe has ruined this trial, and I believe she probably did it on purpose, allegedly. Because, and shout out to the YouTubers that's in the courtroom. Great commentary from a lot of y'all. Tisa Tales, Armand Wiggins. I just watched somebody. Mm, I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it right here. Um, and another guy that I followed today. Great commentary, but I could tell that it's biased because don't get me wrong, everybody want Diddy to be convicted because the things that he did to Cassie, just the way vile, disgusting, nasty, right? And Cassie she deserved every bit of that 20 million and that 10 million from that hotel. But Jane Doe has ruined the trial. I, I'm telling you, she's ruined the trial. Diddy has a chance. The defense team he have, baby, they on perch. They on perch. The questions that they had for Jane Doe after the prosecution was done was just, I was like, wow, how did you think of that? Like, the defense has done a great job, and I know y'all don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. The defense has done a great job with proving that at least Jane Doe, like I don't know who else they have in the bag somewhere, but they have done a great job in proving that Jane Doe was a willing participant in these freak offs. Now Cassie may have been beat into them, and if anything, they would convict him off of Cassie's testimony. But Jane Doe is going to, if I was on the jury, I would be like, girl, bye. The defense proved over and over that she was a willing participant to the point that that rapper icon that everybody says is allegedly yay Kanye, whatever you want to be called, allegedly, that it's him, that she, when her and Diddy was on a little break, a so-called rapper named Bear sent her $9,000, and suddenly she was on a plane to Vegas, and suddenly there was another rapper icon there with his wife celebrating her birthday. They all just suddenly ended up in Vegas, after that suddenly $9,000. Hmm. So what the defense was proven with her was, you said you don't like these freak offs and Diddy made you do them, but when you and Diddy were on a break, you went and done a freak off, didn't you? Now she said she didn't have sex, she didn't do anything. But the defense found text messages, that showed different. She showed her breasts because the rapper, uh-huh, had mentioned it in the text. And so the defense was like, you say you didn't do anything. She goes, well, I flashed my breasts. You done more than that, ma'am. Jane, you done more than that. And I believe that's how you make your living. You know, do what you do. That's your business. But Jane Doe, Miss Thing, everybody is saying that Diddy has met his match with her. Miss Thing is manipulative. They say when she left out the courtroom, this is one of the YouTubers that was in the courtroom said that when she left out the courtroom, she looked at Diddy straight in his eyes, and then she went over to the defense and hugged one of them. Jane Doe, you are three kinds of crazy. If that ain't no manipulative ass shit, what she mad at is she wanted to be number one in Diddy life. She wanted to be the main girl, but Diddy was like, "No, you my freak off hoe." She didn't like that, and she damn sure didn't like that he was with Young Miami. Oh, she hated that. Diddy, what he found, what he beat into Cassie to do, he found it in Jane Doe. Cassie deserved every bit of that 20 million. Jane Doe is a willing participant, and it was proven. I'm sorry, it was proven in court today. So Diddy definitely has a chance because the jury could be swayed with, even though he beat it into Cassie, she still stayed for so long and years. And but then there's also, the mental part of it, the manipulation, you feeling obligated, and you really want to be the main girl, that girl. And every woman and man just want to be loved. We just want to be loved. So we'll see who they call tomorrow on the stand. I mean, everybody was sick of Jane Doe. I'm sick of her ass too. I mean, girl, you ain't do nothing but hurt the prosecution. That's all you did. And you might, you could be working for both sides. I think you know what I think she trying to do? Stick it to him. She trying to just stick it to Diddy. Like, you should have made me number one. Mm. And you know what else I believe? Because Diddy, up until now, even with Diddy in prison, he was still paying her rent. But I think that was a setup by the defense because they hit her with that question. Because she told the prosecution that, I would give it all back to not do freak offs. I'd give it all back. And they said, the defense asked her, you told the prosecution that you give it all back if you ain't have to do no freak offs. And they said, they said, you give it all, everything back but that house. Because she's still in that house and Diddy was still paying the rent on that house up until her sitting on the stand at the trial. But I think it was a setup by the defense. And it was a good setup. I'm not on Diddy's side. Don't get it twisted. Don't get me wrong. But the defense, baby, he got a badass legal team. You got to give props where props is due. He's a horrible ass man. Horrible ass man. Disgusting.